Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to go over the boat and what I did, how I built it, what it's got for solar, and what works and what doesn't. Stay tuned, should be a good one. Alright, everything on board solar wise is Renogy. Now the frame is 2x4 and the back was a 2x12. It ended up getting cut down after 3 years, 3 modifications. This is the latest, works great. Added the 15th barrel right down there. The 2x4 frame, in between 16.5, and that was off of Chud 327. I got it from his build videos. Let's see, it's 1.5 plus material thickness of the panels plus the 1x6. That's why I went with a 2x4 frame, because it's pretty beefy with all the trim on it. All these panels all come off and can be replaced with aluminum real easy. I do have some panels, I think 2, plus the front awning that are Luan, and you can pick them out real easy because they are going bad already. I did end up fiberglass in the corners a little bit there on the new transom. Alright, so I bought a helm, installed a switch panel, Renogy battery monitor, and I bought the tack and alarms for the Suzuki shifters right here, and Minn Kota is right there. The golf cart shifter is oriented correctly, so forward is forward, reverse is reverse. That's why I bought it. So the whole interior is unfinished from what I had planned, but probably won't go much further, not until I get the outside done correctly. I've said it a bunch of times already. The front 3 panels there are fiberglass, and the ceiling is fiberglass. Stays nice in here because 95% of the ceiling is covered by solar panels. The shelves I just added, they work real well. This shelf is my cooktop hinge, goes up and down. The storm windows all fit right there against that wall, in case I'm camping and it's cold or rainy or trailering it in the rain. The next video will have problems that I did have trailering this trip, but which involves the windows. You have the bathroom. So basically you just lift it, pin it up, hook it. You have the bathroom. That toilet is on a bracket, so it doesn't go anywhere. You don't have to worry about it falling over. It's bolted down. Take a look at the setup. Okay, we have the Renogy Wanderer. I can't remember if it's a 20 or 30 amp. And we have the 1000 watt pure sine inverter, 2000 peak. That's plenty for my TV and charging stuff. Might run a fridge, okay, but I don't want to put that much on it yet. I don't know. My fuse panel for the 12 volt stuff, because the lights, everything on the dash panel are separate from the inverter. Got my bars and 2 breakers. One for the controller, one for the inverter. Plug bar. That's the 12 volt system that runs the whole cabin. I got another plug bar up here. That little light switch runs the lights, Christmas lights around the top. The TV's up in the corner there. Got Roku hanging right there. DVD, antenna, little fan. That is the 12 volt system. Alright, now this is strictly for the motor. That is a 40 amp Renogy Rover. And that's an MPPT controller, much more efficient than the one over on the 12 volt system. And in the middle is a shunt for the Renogy battery monitor system. And then I have a breaker for the trolling motor. So this side's pretty simple. 24 volt, that's why it's reading 27.5. And that's because I have 2 12 volt Renogy AGM batteries. And they are in series, so I don't get to double the amperage, I just get to double the watt or the volts. So 2 12 volts in series is 24 volt. They're each 100 amp, so that's all I get is 100 amp hours. Now if I wanted to beef up the system and spend a couple grand, I could replace these two with 2, I think they make a 24 volt 200 amp hour battery. So if I actually plug 2 of those in here, I would have, and I did them in parallel instead of series, I'd have 24 volt and 400 amp hours. That would be huge, but you know, a lot of money. 3 grand, whatever, ain't doing it. So that's this setup for the motor. Alright, so now we'll talk about the structure a little bit. In the corners are 2x4s going both directions, forming an L for structure, and for if I want to put trim up on the inside, I got something to nail to. So 2 2x4s in each corner, 2x4 running all the way around the top, and then all the vertical studs are 1.5 inch aluminum. I did that to try and keep the wall board as straight as possible. Doesn't help that much, but it'll be nice if I ever could recover it in aluminum, which I would do. I would probably just do rolls, 24-inch roll of white roof flashing, and then maybe a 12-inch roll of black roof flashing or something. I'm not going to spend a ton of money, no matter what. I'm not doing the fiberglass. The 3 pieces and the ceiling was a 8.5 by 10.5 foot roll, and cost $450, and is heavier than the aluminum. So I'm not spending that kind of money on the barrel boat. Kind of defeats the purpose. If I wanted to get fancy dancy, I'd do it on a regular pontoon boat. I just wanted all the comforts without having to worry about scratching anything or bumping into anything. The shelves are nice. They're where I kept all my food and stuff. Got one over there. The hinged windows, they're still hinged, but I'm just gonna screw them down and get rid of the hinges because I don't know. It's kind of neat that they swing up and it's open, but all that does is let bugs in and sunlight, and more sunlight. I got my fire extinguisher, my manual awning crank in the corner there. I mounted the swim ladder out there. The awning also has a let's see, I got a eye hook that I cut the corner out of. I can wheel that awning in, which you can already see on previous video. That's about it. The boat itself, you know, I would say between $1,000 and $1,500 tops just for the boat. You know, solar and trailer and motors is a different story, but I don't know. Solar, I think it's like solar. Well, you got to think of the batteries too. Solar, I got about probably $600 or $700 in solar. The batteries were $190 a piece. Those ones. That's just a battery from Walmart. The Suzuki has its own battery, so I never have to worry about that. So solar, 3 batteries, you know, just say $1,500 for the boat, $1,500 for the solar setup. That motor is, I don't know what it is now, under $500 I think for that Minn Kota. And when I talked to the guy on the phone, he said, oh, that's good for 3,500 pounds. Well, on my way up north, I stopped in at Love's service, you know, and they had a cat scale. And I actually got this thing weighed. And my 1-ton Chevy Express 15 passenger clocked in at like 7,200 pounds with no seats in it. I took the 4 rows of seats out. And the boat and trailer came in at 3,180. Well, the trailer weighs 1,100, so, and I probably got 80 pounds worth of gear in here, or I did at the time. So the actual boat weighs about 2,000 pounds, which is not bad. I mean, but that's why I had the trailer built. You know, you don't find 16-foot pontoon trailers with tandem axles that often. So I had this one built with tandem axles and tri-tune because I wanted to take trips. You know, there's more trips. Didn't want any other. You know, a lot of people build barrel boats and they use trailers they already have. Well, I have one. You know, I could build a barrel boat for that trailer there, but it would only be 7 feet wide. And I wanted 8. I wanted 8 by 16 with the 8 by 8 cabin. And fit everything in here that I need. It's a 1-person camping boat. You know, 4-person day boat, 1-person camping boat. Which, you know, that's fine. I would have loved to have built a 24-footer on regular pontoons and, you know, a 14-foot cabin maybe. But the other hand is I built this because I loved canoe camping. I'm sick of being on the big water. There's water 2 miles that way, there's water 2 miles that way, there's big water 2 miles that way, you know. 35 years on big lakes, I'm done. I like the skinny water and scenery, so I built this thing, and it doesn't go much faster than a canoe. But, you know, that's the guy at Minn Kota said, you know, that motor only does 3. So I'm right there. I was getting over 2. And the other thing they did recommend was getting it up out of the water if I'm going to drive the gas motor for any length of time. To now, the front awning, just like the doors, 1-inch square. When I built the doors, I can't weld aluminum. I weld steel, but not aluminum. I went all the way around. It's hard to see because I painted everything black. I painted everything black because I wanted the outside to be the focal point, not the inside walls. But there's a 1/2-inch angle iron all the way around with a rubber seal. And these doors I made just by laying them on a flat surface and bracketed, you know, all the corners together. And then just some cheap handles, which we'll talk about in the next video. But, so they work good. The front awning is just 1x1 L brackets. Same thing, bracketed. And then my other 2 pieces of Luan are the awning here and this other front panel here. Same thing. Just starting to peel away at the bottom. So, no Luan. The wall board here, I'm actually kind of impressed with. This is a 3rd year. So I don't know what I might have forgot. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them. Oh, the bathroom, because it flips up, it's got a soft side over here. I think that's just a pillowcase. Once I got to the point where I was actually putting walls on this thing, it was like, I'm not putting much more money into this thing. You know, I bought the motor, the trailer, the solar. You know, I was into this thing for 6 big ones, and didn't even throw the walls on or anything yet. So the wall board, I just checked, it's $25 a sheet right now, and this boat only took 4 sheets or 5 maybe. So $100, at least when I bought it. It's a lot cheaper than trying to do this with aluminum or fiberglass. And, I didn't know how it was going to float. That's why, redid the rear end in the spring. But yeah, the trip went great. I know the videos aren't the greatest, but I'll do a follow-up video on the performance of the boat and what happened during trailering. Ouch. So I think that's it. It's longer than I wanted to go again. Tried to make this video 3 times. But the shelf, I need to pull that trim edge off so I can redo the whole thing. This is, I forgot what I used here. But it's not tall enough. I'm going to just run another strip of 2x4 like I did on this one, so we get a nice lip. But it's not it's not like Roy's boat. This is definitely something you can probably throw together in a weekend with some beer and some buddies. But that's what it was all about. That was the whole point. I hit a dock or something and poke a hole in one of the walls. $25. Take off the trim, put on a new piece. If I going down a river and I tear a hole in a barrel, put on a new barrel, as long as it's just one barrel. And I bring the boat home safely. But so that's it. I gotta get rid of these. These are these are ugly. That was to hold everything in on the water, not on the road. On the road, I screw everything down, and the cordless comes with me. That's just for out in the water. If you want to put the storm windows in at night, you just flip those toggles. But man, I cannot come out here without a rabbit or a turkey. This morning, a turkey walked right behind the boat. The beam on the roof, there's a couple of reasons for that. We do have a couple of mounts on the roof where the cables come in. That's right there. There's another one up front. And hide the sunlight. And also, there was going to be lighting in this beam that goes to that switch on the wall. It's a dimmer, 12 volt dimmer switch, control for the inverter, and then my power switch for the backup camera. Cup holders are for support. I like the burnt look better. I'll probably do that to all of them. The awning is a house awning, so I gotta strap it up when on the road. But it's on there, good and tight. And then there's the backup camera. Like all this trim is just lattice. And you can see how it's trimmed out. This is one piece. This is a piece. This is a piece. This is a piece. So that piece right there, to get changed out, I just got to take off the cup holder, the corner trim, and then this piece of trim right here, and then the door trim. This panel comes off, put a new one on. Bada boom, bada bing. I think that's about it. Did have problems trailering it. I won't give away that fun stuff yet, except for the windows I showed you. Alright, gotta cut it short. Any other questions, leave me a comment. I'll be happy to answer them.